And look, this is just kind of like the way that I'm thinking, and it's probably just because I'm biased and I have it grained in my head here and where that when I buy something here, I just don't want to pay retail for it.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and where it looks like for the main, you know, for the main part of things here, you look to buy your product via retail apps or connected websites. And hey, whatever. It's not like we're Joe Rogan and we have 8 million kind of followers. I don't have a problem talking about Target. So
Sure,
if
sure.
if somebody wants to claim that we're giving Target some free publicity, I mean, go crazy,
Yeah.
dude. But I think we're really just trying to drive home a point here. But in the conversations, yeah, you love the Target app. You
Yep.
love Target kind of as a retailer, and it kind of like seems that that's your go-to source, and I just need to know why.
Sure, sure. So, right, we go from very different perspectives with how we get our cards. You're going out probably with a decent chunk of cash to estate sales and everything, and you're able to negotiate for even. I know you had that one deal where what'd you get, like 10,000 cards or something for like $500.
I got 100,000 cards for 160, either 160 or 140. I had to look back at
Yeah,
my notes here.
right, right. And I would love to be able to find those deals. I'm a busy guy. This is a hobby within a hobby within a hobby for me. So, I don't have the luxury of, I mean, I don't really leave the house that much, to be honest. So going around trying to find sales and stuff, even utilizing Facebook and whatnot, most of the time when I look at Facebook, I'm finding people that are trying
Price gouging.
to, what's that?
Price gouge. I see a
Right,
lot of that
right.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, they're trying to sell at worth, at whatever the value is. In a like one card, they'll post like 8 cards and say, hey, it's like that's their shop. Almost like you're going into a card store looking at their case. You're not going to get a deal there. You're going to get it at cost. So I don't really go through that. I don't try and and find the diamonds in the rough in that sense. What I do is very kind of laid back, and it's utilizing Target and just going through and finding when things are available. So like right now you can see almost everything sold out except for you probably pick up that hanger box, the rookies and stars
Do you
here.
want me to scroll up or down? I'm just kind
Oh,
of like,
right there,
scroll.
right where
Right
you're
here's
at
good.
is perfect.
Okay.
So on the far right here, there's 200 cards. It's $149. Rookies and stars factory set. That thing was awesome. Breaking that, getting those cards was very, very good. And so this is what I look at. I look and see what's available, and I consider, what do I want? I look at some of the reviews, like the card hanger box, is a 3-star set, and everything I looked at from reviews says there's not a lot of hits. It's a lot of base cards. It's kind of crappy. People getting cards that were messed up in the sense of like the box was crushed, things like that. So I stay away from it. And then on the flip side, the rookies and stars, I think that's a 4.5 star, and the reviews on it were, it's a great product, looks awesome, all this stuff. So that's why, it's more of I don't get a ton of product. It's periodic, and it's when I have the extra cash to do it, in the sense of trying to also create content for this channel. So like I recently picked up at Target, it was the Contenders series, and for that one I picked up 3 blaster boxes, and then I happened to come across at Walgreens 2 Illusions fat packs. So, I see it out there, 10, $15, I pick it up, and then I just kind of collect it until I have time to break them open on video. And it's all factory retail pricing, which I find is cheaper than going to like the trade shows. So
Yeah, that's
remember
an
we
interesting point. We'll get into the second. I just wanted to stop you kind of right there because I had a question here. When you're saying that you look at reviews, are you talking about like the store reviews, or are you doing any additional research? What actually constitutes like a review? And of course, it sounds like here, reviews play a big part of your purchasing decisions.
Yeah. So twofold. There's the reviews that are on the site. So people that are actually taking the time, they've bought the product and they've, for better or worse, have typed in what they think of that product. But then I also go to YouTube, and this stems from where I started from, and I will look it up and find someone who's breaking it open so that I can see what does the card look like, what's the base to rookie rate that's coming out of the packs. How is it packaged? Like, are these individually wrapped? What I noticed with the rookies and stars was there were no packages. It was just the cards in the box. So these interesting details go into, do I want to purchase this? Is this something that I want?
Gotcha, makes sense here. So no, that's kind of interesting. So it looks like you kind of like look at a good deal. It's not necessarily the concept of buying like at retail, but hey, look, you know what? And if you don't mind, get into this like in a second here, because we've actually gone to a couple different shows with one another, and you've kind of pointed out the fact that how when you're at a card show, you've actually seen some of these boxes or products that you can get at retail outlets,
Yep.
but it's almost like you're getting it at a discount if you buy kind of like a retail in comparison to the prices that are being charged at some of these quote
Right.
unquote kind of like card shows. And
100%. Yeah. So what the
so yeah, just to put it rapid, I mean, you're actually finding there's better deals paying retail
Yep.
than buying it at a trade show, which I don't know. I would actually think, look, I don't buy, or I'll tell you, unless I kind of like know that I'm getting like a good deal on it. That's the only reason why I would buy. I guess they call it wax.
Yeah.
But from your experiences, it's quite the contrary, and where trade shows more expensive than retail,
Mhm.
which completely blows my mind.
So supply and demand. The people at the card shows go to Target, buy up all the product, mark it up sometimes 100%, 150%. So like when you were going through the Target app and you see all those products and they're all sold out. You can't find them. You can't get them in the store. They have lines waiting of these guys that just sit there waiting for the person to put out the product to immediately snatch it up and go. So the reason I have to sit there almost every day and look at the Target app is once Target releases it, it's only available for a limited time before it's gone. And what is it, Panini Prestige, which is 19.99 on the Target app. You go to the trade show, the one that we went to, they sold it for $50, 49.99.
And that was 1999 retail. It was
Exactly.
being sold. That's the one at Mohegan Sun that we went to
Right.
couple
And
weeks
so
ago.
it's like I'm not going to purchase that for $50 when I know that it's 19.99. And then when I think about the amount of cards that I'm getting, you get like 47 cards in that blaster box, 42, 47, whatever it is. And now you're over $1 per card, which
Got
is, essentially what I'm going to be able to sell it for on eBay when I get to that point.
interesting. All right, so it almost kind of you got to really take into account the like a supply or the availability, and if it's a quality product and it's available in retail outlets, just because you're paying a retail price doesn't necessarily mean that it is a bad deal in your opinion.
Yeah, you're gonna get the bad deal trying to get it from a card show, get it from a reseller, essentially. It's when the resale, comes through and the price goes way up,
So you're really kind of like, screwed when there's no more supply. That's where I get some of these additional prices of 50, 75, 100% markup is justifiable because you're not able to, you can't get it retail like it anymore.
Right.
So your strategy is let me kind of continue hitting the Target apps or some of these retail outlets on, a casual but consistent basis and score some product when I have the opportunity to go ahead and do so.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I look at this from the perspective of creating content. If I was really had uh a great collection and I was going out and I was one of those guys at the trade show, I'd 100% be doing the same thing and then marking them up because I'd be able to get, 150% profit. Um, and they would just, it would just sit there until they purchased it. It doesn't matter. I'm going there anyways. I need to fill my shelves. I need to look like I have stuff because, maybe I won't
Sure.
sell the blaster box this time, but they'll come in and they'll see that and then they'll buy from the single cards that I have or whatever. If that was my goal, I would be stocking up on this stuff. But my goal is to open it.
Interesting. To me, it's a little insulting. Does it bother kind of like, you when you know that something sells for 19.99 and someone's actually selling it for 50, 75 bucks?
Well, it's a business. What are they? There wouldn't be there if they were going to sell it at $19.
I got to find somebody who actually doesn't mind buying it. Just psychologically, that kind of that bothers me.